Why do you support Trump?
Immigration.
What about immigration?
Yeah, I support his like deportation of illegal immigrants.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, because I think if you're gonna come to the country illegally and commit crimes, you shouldn't be here.
Okay. So you think committing crimes, if someone does that, they should be held accountable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why'd you vote Trump? He was convicted
You trying to
of.
pivot?
No, I'm not. I'm not pivoting it at all. I'm just asking you if that's a
What
thing that you
crime?
believe in. This is a thing you believe in. Well, he was convicted of 34 felonies, and he wasn't put in prison because he was elected president. So if you think that criminals should be held accountable, why did you vote for a criminal to not be held accountable?
So there was no penalty for his New York case. Is that what you're trying to say?
In the sentencing, they were not going to send someone who's going to be president to prison, right? Otherwise, it would have been taken into account significantly more. So we could have likely seen Trump behind bars.
So, do you disagree with the court in that sense?
What do you mean? Do I disagree with the court? I mean, obviously, I would. Yes, I think he should be in prison. Like
For what?
genuinely, like I actually genuinely think he should be in prison.
For
For,
that
for
specifically, or
what?
something
For
else?
well, if you want to talk about for what, he pardoned violent rioters who police officers, and he called them
That's
patriots.
not
He
illegal.
called for the of people
No, he didn't.
who are Democrats, right? Literally just for saying don't
Oh
uphold
wait, no, he didn't do
unlawful
that. But
orders, right? Okay, he called for them. He's calling for the denaturalization of people who are U.S. citizens, legal immigrants, because they don't meet the standard of wait, what was it? Like literally of upholding domestic tranquility, whatever that means. I'm sorry. What the are you talking? He's violating people's constitutionally protected rights. He's literally committing crimes as U.S. president, and you're just like, you know what? You know what? This
how
guy,
is
this
pardoning people a
corrupt
crime?
guy, this guy, he's gonna actually uphold the law to a greater extent, to which you've never seen before. I promise you that. Like literally, he's gonna commit so many crimes like nobody's ever done before.
Is pardoning a crime?
By the way, no, I think that like these are moral crimes. Like that's the way I'm referencing. So like if
Oh,
you were to
okay.
like if I had the ability to legally speaking, yes, this is absolutely like something that meets that criteria. Yeah, like
Do you think?
you cannot have people in a position of president doing these things. I think he should be impeached. I think he should be put in prison. I think this is absurd. You should not be able to do this as president of the. I actually genuinely don't believe you should be able to do this as president of the United States. He's actively undermining democratic institutions, and we're supposed to just sit there like genuinely like what? That's crazy. It's genuinely crazy.
Do you
He's
think the
literally
pardon
incited.
power
He's incited
specifically
violence.
should?
He's not very popular, right? He's
Do you
losing
think the pardon power
popularity constantly.
specifically is
His
bad,
his
or like
popularity is like literally like an insane portion of the population that is specifically heavily misinformed and like literally cult brained right at this point, right, to support anything that he says. I mean, he's literally reposting. He's posting things on Truth Social, speaking about him going and being president in 2028. Do you want me to pull it up? Do you want to see?
no? I believe you. He's
It's
talked about it a lot.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing that this guy's president. I'm genuinely serious. This is insane. I hope people can realize that. This is crazy. Everything I just said is actually insane.
Okay, so back on the pardon thing, do you think like the presidential pardon, like that power is bad, or do you think it is just the way he used it specifically?
I think the way he used it. And I mean,
So,
I could say that in a huge portion of instances, the presidential pardon can be used in a bad connotation, right?
do you think the way
So
Biden used them was bad?
I mean, sure, there are circumstances. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily think like pardoning your son is necessarily something that qualifies as morally good, but like it's an understandable thing to do as it's your son. But like, still, especially when it comes to like doing favors for like family members, like genuinely, like I mean, in people that are close to you, that can be exploited. like to an absurd extent.
So on that degree, they're the same, no?
What is this name? No, how there was no violent crime that he was convicted of. Hunter Biden was not convicted of a violent crime. And he
No,
didn't
but
try to.
it's still.
And Hunter Biden did not try to literally undermine the 2020 election results and try to overthrow, like literally go into the Capitol and be a police officer. He didn't do that. Okay, that was not Hunter Biden. Okay.
But it's still a criminal getting pardoned for like because he's related.
Yeah. So you wait, but you can't say that it's viewed the same. Does that make sense?
It's still a criminal getting pardoned. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
No.
We're talking about the specific way in which it's pardoned, like the specific pardon that I'm referencing. That's when I tell
your
you
problem
that.
is that it was a
Listen,
violent
listen,
crime.
listen.
That's
When
the
I tell
problem
you
have?
that, when I tell you that about him pardoning the violent rioters, police officers, the reason why I'm referencing that is because it tells you that he condoned the violence that happened on that day. So all his little placating that he like, oh, he thought it was, he advocated for it to be peaceful. It was so peaceful on his behalf. He said that they shouldn't do violence. Then why did he pardon the violence? It's absurd. It is absurd that people believe that. Right? Why do you believe that?
What do I?
Why do you still support Trump after hearing everything that I've just said in this conversation?
Because the left is worse in every way.
How? How is that even possible?
Well, starting off like on principles, like they don't like the country, which is a big problem.
How so?
What? They like say the country's evil and terrible.
Okay, who said that? Who said the country's evil and terrible? You mean right now? This administration?
Yes.
Yes, this administration is evil and terrible. What's wrong?
Well,
What's
what
wrong
I
with me
originally
acknowledging
said
the
was-
reality? I'm sorry.
What
I just after everything I just mentioned, is that not your conclusion? Is that not the logical conclusion after everything that's been referenced in this conversation?
No.
No? You didn't hear anything that I said?
No, I heard what you said, but
Then you would realize. And
Okay.
that was just some of it. I haven't even referenced everything. There's so
how can
many
you
other things
vote
I
for
can
a party
reference.
that is like okay with illegal immigrants coming in and just committing crimes? That's
No, any undocumented immigrant that's committed a violent crime or bad crime, right? We specifically think should be deported on the condition that they be put in a prison in another
no,
country.
you don't.
Yes. What are you talking about?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. That's my position. But like any
you live in
undocumented
California,
immigrant that has
right?
not committed a violent crime or bad crime
LA,
should be given
right?
a pathway to citizenship, right?
You live in LA, right?
Why are you asking me that? What a pivot.
Because my next question is going to be if there's like a referendum on if your city should be a sanctuary city, would you vote yes on that?
Would I vote yes on the? I mean, it depends on how it's defined as a sanctuary city. But yeah, sure.
As it currently is, like, are you
Under
fine with the current
how about
state?
this? If it's defined under my view, yes.
And
My
what's your
view,
view?
my view. I just told you, an undocumented immigrant that has not committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country, right? And those specifically that have committed violent crimes and bad crimes should be deported with due process.
Is that how it works right now?
No, over 70% of people that are detained by ICE have no prior criminal records.
No, I'm saying the one. So, like, if a criminal commits a crime, do you think, like, a really, really, like, a violent bad crime?
Dude, no, wait,
Do you
no.
think that they
Coming
should-
into the country is not a crime that I think is so bad. That means that
No,
like
I'm
someone
saying
should be viewed in
they're
that
an
perspective.
illegal immigrant and they committed, a violent crime.
Yeah, I just said they should be deported.
So then, how do you do that in a sanctuary city?
Well, I would say well, I'm confused what you mean by sanctuary city.
So, like, when you
Do you think?
detain a person,
I'm sorry. Do you think sanctuary cities don't put like people who commit violent crimes in prison? That's such a ridiculous assertion.
no,
What are you
no,
talking
they don't
about?
communicate with ICE. Though.
What are
They
you
don't-
saying,
they don't-
dude? Like, can you name? Dude, I just can't even fathom that. That's your
That's not
perspective.
what I said. You're straw manning. Listen,
I'm not.
So
I'm not.
no. So how it works is when you detain them, you don't tell ICE. You don't have to communicate with them that they're an illegal, right? Isn't that how it works?
Undocumented immigrant. Wait, sorry.
Yeah,
Say it
isn't that
again.
how it works?
Say it
Yeah, so
again?
when you detain like an undocumented immigrant that's committed crime in a sanctuary city, you're not like you're not forced to report that person to ICE, right?
You're not sure? I'm confused what your point is.
Yeah, do you not see that as a problem?
I'm confused. Do I not see that as a problem?
Yeah,
Do I think that ICE should be able to get all that data? No.
but
So
you
I don't
said
see that
you
as a
agreed with
problem.
me that
Actually, I think that I think that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think ICE should be able to get information because over 70% of the people they're detaining have no prior criminal records. There's so many people that aren't getting due process. There's so many people that have not committed a violent crime or bad crime that should be allowed to stay in this country. They're not harming you at all. They're not a threat to your safety and security. And you're wasting your time on people that are just trying to make a living for themselves rather than focusing on people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes, right? Like the people in the
I'm
position in the
talking about those
presidency.
people.
Genuinely, what are you doing? Your priorities are dumb, dude. Why are you focused on undocumented immigrants that haven't committed lower rates of violent crime, property crime,
I'm not
based upon the
focused on
studies
those
that
ones.
are
You're
in the
not listening to what
bibliography
I'm
in my
saying.
bio? You can check them out, by the way.
No, I'm talking about the ones that have committed violent crimes. That's what I'm saying.
You're talking about the ones that have committed violent crimes. Yeah, again,
Yes.
we've already told you multiple times. People who have committed violent crimes should be deported on the condition that we put in a prison in the country. We don't want
Yeah,
people
but they
specifically who have
can't in a
committed violent
sanctuary
crimes.
city.
What's that?
That's the problem.
Okay, well, I'm confused. I don't know how you're defining sanctuary cities. I think that sanctuary cities still put people in prison, like who commit violent
No, but
crimes. You don't think
yes, I know,
sanctuary
but you
cities put people in prison?
okay, hold on. You said if you're an undocumented immigrant and you commit a violent crime, you should be deported, right?
Uh-huh.
If you commit a violent crime and you're an undocumented immigrant in a sanctuary city, you don't get deported.
Okay. Well, I would disagree with any place that specifically does that. Is there any place you could point to that
It's
does?
like that in LA. What do you mean?
Wait, no. I think they deport people that have committed violent crimes. I don't think that's true that they would keep people in the country without putting them in a prison if they have committed a violent crime.
Are you sure?
Yeah?
So how did they make the when did they
I
decide
mean,
to like
can you
deport
give me the source for that? Like I would genuinely be like I would think that's absurd. Like anyone who has committed a violent crime, of course.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But isn't it the
But
way
can
that
you
the
give me the
sanctuary cities
source?
work
Can you
right
give
now?
me your
That's not the
source,
case.
man? What's your source?
The gonna make me get a source, bro. Not this.
You're gonna make
Trust
me
me,
get
bro.
a
That's my
source,
source.
bro. No,
Trust me, bro.
no,
Trust me, bro. That's my source.
no. Parker asked me for a source. No.
Trust me, bro.
Come on, no. Actually, do some research. Is that really that difficult?
No, I'm just.
I'm,
Wait,
dude. Dude, seriously.
I'm
Can you
confused.
do research?
No, okay, hold on.
MAGA needs
just,
to get some research. That's
no,
gonna
just
be the new
help me out with this.
the
Help me
new
out with this.
nickname, or not new nickname, new username for you.
Okay, help me out with this. So, when, so if they don't report an undocumented immigrant to ICE, why are you saying that they do? Like, when is this decision made to do it or when not to do it?
When there are situations where they've committed violent crimes and bad crimes.
And does it say that in this
Right.
in the law?
Dude, I don't even know the specific connotation of the law. Okay, I bet that specifically people have committed violent crimes and bad crimes.
Do you have a source
like
for
that?
that?
We would typically say.
Wait, why are you asking me to get a source when you're making the claim? Actually, that's true.
You're the
making
one
a
making
claim.
a claim.
No, you're the one making. You're making the claim that they do deport them.
No, you were the one making the claim that there's some sort of prescription that they don't put people who have committed violent crimes in prison. Okay? That was your claim.
No, but weren't you making the claim that they do deport them?
That was your claim on their policy. You're making the claim on the policy, and you just don't want to look at the source, and you're trying to shift the burden like crazy, and you're grasping for straws.
Okay, where would I go to find that what you're saying is true?
I'm not going to tell you how to research, bro. I think you're going to have to figure that one out yourself. I think you're going to have to figure out how to research there, man.
Okay, if I find a case of a violent criminal not being overturned to ICE, you make a bet on it? Here, let's make a bet on it.
I'm not going to bet. Go do research. I'm serious.
You're not gonna.
I'm waiting.
Oh, so you're not confident?
No, I genuinely didn't listen to what you just said there. I blinked it out. Would you like to just like
Yeah. Would
go
you
look it
bet
up?
that that's the case? That you're saying that if a undocumented immigrant commits a violent crime, they do get deported. I wouldn't be able to find a case of that.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. But I would
Well,
I would
that's
lean against that. I'm not like leaning against it enough to say that I would put money or I only put money and bet on things that like I 100% am certain on.
okay. Well, my understanding is that is the case, and I think that's a bad leftist policy. That's one of the reasons. So you can say,
Okay, well,
"Oh, Trump this,
can
Trump
you go
that."
find it? Because it's that's by the way that in that circumstance that doesn't at all relate to my view. What's wrong about my view? I think it's embarrassing that you had to reach that, and you don't even have a source for that. You can just admit it's bullshit because you're not
It's
going to look it
definitely
up.
not. I bet if I looked it up, I would back me up.
Okay, do it then. Oh yeah, then actually, would you? Okay, well then, what will you then? Would you put money on it?
Yeah, I bet my. Hmm. Let me think about this. How much?
This is
How much
so
bread you got,
embarrassing for
Parker?
you.
How much bread you got? I don't. I'm not trying to bankrupt you.
Twenty
I'm trying to be
trillion
friendly.
dollars. 20 trillion.
20 trillion?
Yeah, dude. I was the first trillionaire. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
A $5 bet that I'm right. How does that sound?
Five. Bro. Okay. I'm not even gonna do that.
What?
I'm just like.
10.
How
What's
about
the
this?
minimum?
How
What's the
about
minimum?
this? How about this? You'd have to change your profile picture.
To what? Biden? Or
And
no?
I'm not gonna do anything. I just like genuinely like if you're just wrong, just admit it and change your profile picture and stop being a Trump supporter.
But I
Yeah.
won't be able to prove you wrong if I find it. That's the problem.
Okay.
Like I'll
Just go
find that
look it
I'm right,
up.
and then I won't even get to like
Just go
tell you
look
that
it
I'm
up
right.
at this point. Just go look it up, dude. This is
No, but
this
then I
is
don't get
like
the
this
satisfaction
is his
of telling you that
desperate
you're wrong.
attempt to be like I don't want to look I don't want to do research, Parker. Please stop making me do research. Please, please, Parker. Parker, no, I don't want to look this up. No, Parker, please just if I do look it up, can you tell me can you tell me like what I should like do to like find the own thing that I'm claiming myself? Like how could I find my own source? That's literally what he said. That's like actually what he said.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm about to prove you're a fraud on stream. Just
Okay,
you wait.
buddy. Okay, buddy. I honestly, I'm not trusting his research skills. I'm not trusting his research skills based upon the conversation we've had so far. I'm not trusting that. I'm not trusting that. Let's see it. Let's see if he could do some research here. Let's see. Watch him come back with like Newsmax.
Wait, so I have a question for you on this specific. Are you saying
Wait,
that?
no, I don't have. Watch your source, man. What's your source?
No, I have a source, but like, are you saying that they are? So are you
What?
saying like if they detain someone that is a undocumented and they do commit a crime, they're obligated or they're required to, or you're just saying that they can?
Well, I mean, you would say that they can, and they do.
Yeah, but they're not required to.
They
That's
can
the
and
problem.
do.
They can and do, but they're not required, right?
Sure.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like if they
What's
just
your point?
don't want that person to be deported, they just won't report it to ICE.
Okay. So if you don't want them to be you okay, so but could you give me any instances of that?
I would have to find one.
Oh.
You know what? I concede on the point that I don't have enough information right now.
Oof, that's an embarrassing point. But I appreciate at least conceding that, acknowledging that.
I would have to do more information.
Okay. Would you like to provide any other reason why you support Trump? Because I mean, I think
Because
that
he
he's
was the better
indefensible.
candidate. That's why.
And name one quality he's better. Like literally, I don't think you can name one
Kamala had no
quality.
policies.
Kamala, she did. I can tell you them if you want. You just didn't do research. Again, surprising. You didn't do research. You know, I couldn't have guessed that one actually.
Okay, why would you tell a Trump voter that
Do you want me?
to
Do you want
vote
me
for
to tell you,
Democrat?
or okay? Why would I tell you?
Yes,
Because
like
we
what?
actually care about affordability. We want to expand access to healthcare and childcare and housing affordability, right? And taking care of the working class and middle class, lowering taxes
Wait,
for
hold on.
working class people
Hold on. If
and
you care
families.
about healthcare affordability, why did they end the government shutdown and just like let the
because
tax credit
because the
expire?
Republicans voted against an amendment that specifically would have taken the $40 billion that we're sending to Argentina, and it would have specifically put that towards $40 billion of healthcare subsidies for the ACA extended for 2 years, right, to reduce healthcare premiums for American citizens. So Democrats were trying to ensure that Americans didn't have their healthcare premiums go up in cost, which probably affects someone in your family, dude. Right? Whether it be your immediate family or extended family.
Yeah, but if they cared about it, why did they like end the shutdown and make it? Because the Republicans didn't agree to extend that.
Wait, say that again?
The Republicans didn't agree to vote on that to to continue the
No, they
subsidy.
shot down that amendment.
Yeah. So if the Democrats cared about
That's
that, why would they end the shutdown?
what?
You're saying they
Wait,
care about
those
healthcare affordability.
wait, hold up. Those were some the few Democrats that voted to continue it is not representative of the entire Democratic Party. I do agree it's an issue, but like it's not representative of the rest of the Democratic Party. It's representative of those Democrats.
Uh, What do you mean the few Democrats?
Yeah, there was like it was like 8 Democrats, I think.
Yeah, and like the messaging was like the party position was that we're gonna end the shutdown and give up the healthcare subsidy now. Like if they
Uh,
needed more votes, they would have got more votes. I guarantee it.
no, it's because Republicans weren't negotiating because they don't give a shit about harming the American people and cutting people off of health care because a
And
hell
neither
of a
do the
lot of
Democrats.
Republicans could care less if SNAP even existed.
Neither do the Democrats.
No, no, wait, so many of the Democrats do. That is an absurd standpoint for you to say. I would say most, could you at least acknowledge, overwhelming majority of Democrats were against doing that. An overwhelming majority.
I would have to see polling data.
Okay, how many people were Democrats in the Senate?
Uh, I think there was. Wait, do you say in the Senate?
Yeah.
How many are Democrats? Is it? It's like 40. Is it 47?
I think it's 48.
48?
Mm-hmm.
48 Democrats.
That's, I mean, at least listed as Democrats. So, I mean, there's a dispute on whether or not some of them are specifically Democrats. But the point I'm saying is that that's still an overwhelming majority of Democrats disagree with those 8 Democrats. Okay? Can you at least
No,
acknowledge that?
okay. The Democrats that did vote to end it were the ones that weren't up for re-election. If they needed more votes, they would have got more votes. They strategically picked those ones to vote for it, just so that the ones that were up for re-election, they wouldn't have that be used against them in their re-election.
So, and again, you say used against them because they literally acknowledged that they didn't care about upholding the healthcare premiums. They could have, with that, we needed negotiations on that. What happened to the negotiations on that? And also, why are you okay with the Republican Party just being completely okay with the government shutdown and not even negotiating? How are you okay with that? How do you overlook
Because we
that?
don't need the government subsidizing healthcare companies. That's why.
So you just want there to be lack of access to healthcare to a greater extent? You want people to lose access to healthcare? You want their healthcare premiums to go up? Is that what you want? Because that's what's going to
I
happen.
I don't want that to happen, but I also don't want. Ideally, that wouldn't happen, but it's a difficult choice to make. You want to give government
It's a
money to
difficult
healthcare
choice to make.
companies.
So,
That's what you
and you're
want.
saying the difficult choice is that you should just let them have higher
Yes, that's a
premiums
better choice than
and
giving
higher
money to healthcare
costs.
companies, government money, taxpayer dollars to healthcare companies.
So, okay, listen to this. Wouldn't you prefer a system where we had universal access?
No,
You wouldn't? Why?
because the government's inefficient.
How? In the
Private
context of
businesses do
wait,
better.
but countries around the world have lower average costs of healthcare expenditure per capita comparative to we do.
If they're so much better, why don't you move there?
You understand because my family lives here.
So if your family lived there, you wouldn't. So you don't care about this country.
If my
you just
family
live
lived
here.
there, would I move there? Yes.
So you don't actually like this country. You just happen to live here because your family does.
I love my family. I
actually,
like my
let me ask you a
like I'm
hypothetical.
talking like I'm gonna be wherever my girlfriend is, right? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be
I don't have a problem with that.
wherever
But
my
like
family
hypothetically,
is,
if you could
right?
choose,
And
like
that's gonna
where your
be in
family is
America. Like
located.
my family's just not going to move out of the the
Yeah, I'm
United
saying like
States. They've
hypothetically,
lived here their
if
whole
you could
life.
choose like where your family was, what country would you choose?
If I could, I don't have like a specific country off the top of my head. I would pick.
So you don't have any
I live
preference for
here.
any countries?
Well, I mean, I've lived here, so obviously I have a preference for living in LA. Like I like LA.
Do you like this country?
I like the country that I live in. Yes,
So then,
but
why
you
are you
understand
saying
that
like
I don't like the president. I like the country I live in, but I don't like the president.
no? But why are you always going like, oh, this country's doing this better? Oh, this and this and this.
I want
Like,
children in
just
this
go live
country
there if
to
they're
be
so much
fed.
better.
I want children in this country to be fed. I want people to have access to health care. I want people to have access to basic amenities that they need. I don't want people to have a lack of access to necessities. Why is that such an absurd take to you?
Healthcare
Why is
isn't
that
a
not a standard
necessity.
for you? Why do you think that everyone shouldn't have that? Like, genuinely.
If you want healthcare, then you have to work and pay for it. It's not a like human right.
It is.
It is not
It is.
great.
Healthcare
No, it
is a human
isn't.
right. It absolutely is. Right? Okay, wait, then tell me this. Do you think emergency healthcare is a human right?
Yes.
Oh, so you do think healthcare is a human right, just only in emergency circumstances.
Yes.
Wait, so you were just saying before healthcare is not a human right. Now you're saying that we should be paying for emergency healthcare? Why? Because it saves
Okay,
people's lives? Well, then that's
I
the exact
should've
same reasoning why I'm
clarified.
saying we should have universal access to healthcare because 45 to 68,000 American lives lost every single year due to lack of health insurance. You know how many people have to literally choose between access to food and paying their rent and being able to pay their bills and being fucking stuck under literally so much medical debt because of the absurd costs that exist? We can get rid of that. Countries around the world have done that. The fact that we have that is absurd. It's
So-
absurd, and you're reinforcing it. And
No,
you have
I'm
done
saying
no
if you
research.
don't
This is
have
the
health-
issue. No research.
If you don't have health insurance, you should get it.
Okay.
And you know how you get it? You pay for it, and you get it, and you pay for it by working.
Okay, I'm sorry.
want health
You understand
insurance,
that
you
if
work for
if there were hundreds of thousands of dollars of costs imposed on anyone in this live, that would bankrupt most people in this live, right? Do you agree?
That's why you
Right?
get health
And that's
insurance.
based on something that they didn't even choose. Health
That's why you
insurance
get health
doesn't
insurance,
always
right?
cover everything. You understand that, right?
Like
Health
what?
insurance, like genuinely, health insurance does not cover everything. It should be. The fact that that's even something that we have to think about is absurd to me.
What does
It's
it not
absurd
cover?
to me. And also, it's over cost because of the fact that you're leaving it up to the market too much instead of having a greater portion of bargaining power from like a public option that is going to be sufficient for everyone. You can still have forms of private, but why the fuck would you want that if you have a good system? I want such a good system that you can rely upon it.